Okay, so good morning, everyone. Thank all of you for coming today. I'm Hong Shuo, a year 6 student from Denmark High School, and I will be conducting the Chrome extension workshop now. So let's first take a look at what are we going to do first. The workshop will be divided into 4 parts. Concept intro, prerequisites of Chrome extension, and code explanation and live coding. So there's 2 questions. What is Chrome extension and why we use it? Chrome extensions are programs that can be installed into Chrome in order to change the browser's functionality. These include adding new features to Chrome or modifying the existing behavior of the program itself to make it more convenient for the users. Shown by the image below, users can find Chrome extension inside the Chrome Web Store. They can search for extension they want and install it into Chrome. So once installation complete, it will be shown by the small icon beside the URL area. For example, the Google Translator will be then added to the Chrome and shown by this icon. So it shows that Google Translate has been added to Chrome. That means you install the extension successfully. And why we use it? So basically, it help customize users' Chrome experience and is more convenient to use compared to downloading a separate application. So for example, for the Google Translator extension, once you click on the icon, so this small window will pop up. So you can basically key in any word you want and get the translation meaning. You don't need to switch to another tab or open another application to do it. So it saves your time basically. So that's a basic question we may have when we doing the Chrome extension. Now I will be moving on to prerequisites. First is the setup. So we need to have a coding platform, and then we need to set our Chrome into developer mode. We are using VS Code today. I hope everyone has downloaded already. If not, Amy will send this link to the chat. And for those who already have it on your com, just give me a thumb up to show that you have downloaded. Okay, good. If you don't have, you can just download it while we are moving on to the next part. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, need to set this your Chrome into developer mode. I will just show you live lah. So basically, you click on this menu, and there's a more tools button. Inside, they got an extension select option. Click on this, and so this one it means that you already at the developer mode. So just click on this, make it blue. Yeah, that's all. So it's pretty simple steps. Okay, let's go back. After the setup, let's look at what languages are we using. So we'll be using basic or website development language like CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. Json is not a language, it's a format using JavaScript syntax. So let me give a brief intro of each language. So for Json, as I said, is a format using JavaScript syntax to represent structured data. It's easy to read for both human and machines as is text-based, aka it's very similar to human languages. So basically what it does is just to give your browser introductions of a website or extension. For example, maybe what's the names of a website or what's the names of your extension and what are the icons of your extensions. And here's an examples of JSON file. So in JSON, whatever enclosed by a curly bracket is called one JavaScript object. So you can see that one JSON file is one JS object. And of course, you have JS object inside another JS object, like what it shows here. Here, the pop-up is a JS object. It's inside the menu. So For data inside, always appear as value pairs. So key and value. Yeah. And straight bracket inside the JSON file means array. Yeah, denotes array. Let's move on to JavaScript. It is one essential web development language, and it determines the behavior of your website. Also, is in charge of the interaction between client and server sides. For example, it helps to send messages back to the server from the client. There's an example of JavaScript code. Actually, I sort of assume that you have knowledge of the web development, but if you don't have, feel free to explore it on your own time. And today's content will not be that deep. I hope everyone can understand. So let's move on to HTML and CSS. HTML determines the basic structure of your website. For example, maybe you wish you should insert a table where is the title of your website and blah, blah, blah. And CSS is the UI or UX designs of your website. For example, the format, background colors and positions of elements, something, extra, is all determined by CSS. So what I mentioned above are prerequisites. So firstly, a platform, VS Code. Secondly, make your Chrome into developer mode. Thirdly, you need to know basic knowledge of these three languages and JSON format. Yeah. And let's go to the code explanation part. Oh, wait, ignore the live demo here. I'm not doing this for this part. So we are having 5 files today: manifest.json, foreground.js, background.js, pop-up HTML, and option HTML. I will be showing the functions of the last 2 files, these 2, during the live coding part. So for now, let's just take a look at this first 3. Okay. So for manifest.json, as I mentioned earlier, it tells your browser about your extension, and it's compulsory to have it while developing your extension, because only then you can add your extension to your screen or to your browser. It contains just about the details of the website. I think you will see it when I'm doing the live demonstration. Yeah. For background and foreground.js, so basically for background.js, it's actually the background page. It's very important because it listens for events and dispatch events from forend. For example, you can send a message to forend. It will run immediately once reloaded. Yeah, there's no laggings or no gap between it. It just will run immediately. And for foreground.js, okay, although it calls foreground, but it's actually just a content script. So basically, what is written on it is the script that developers want to run, or developers want to implement to the forend. For example, maybe on active type, you want to change a color. So basically, the code of changing the color will be on the foreground.js. But as it's only the content, it's just a script. It cannot run by itself. So you need to inject the code from background.js to the foreground.js to make it run. Yeah. So there's some explanations of the files that we'll be using today. I hope everyone so far have a clearer minds about why we have this file. So now let's do the live demonstration. Oh, am I too fast? If I'm too fast, please just tell me in the chat. I will slow down. Or you have any question, just ask in the chat, or just switch on your mic. No, just unmute yourself. Yeah. Let me see whether I have a question in the chat. Oh, you're not supposed to download these 4 files. We'll be developing this along with me. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, do download the JSON file. You all can access, right? If you cannot access, just ask in the chat. Admin will help you to do it. Actually, let's take a look at the folder first. I think you just use the link here. Yes. Clean out this link. Oh, if you use Rapid, then use HTML, CSS, and JS, that one, not Python. Okay, one reason of why we are not using Rapid, because every time you want to add something, some new features on it, you need to re-download it. Yeah, so it's a little bit complicated, but it's fine. It still works. So inside this resource folder, this one is the slides. So download the image folder and the manifest.json folder. Inside image, it should be 6 PNG files. Yeah. Okay, I will show the pop-up and let me close this first. I will show the functions of pop-up and the option HTML now. So for optional HTML, you can click on these details, and you show inside here is the extension options. So whatever here is basically the contents of the option.html. I think this one is about modes, versions, or whether you need a dark theme for which websites here. It's about the details of the extension. And pop-up is basically once you click on the icon, whatever show here is just the pop-up window. Yes. That's the demonstrations of these two HTML files. Let's move on to coding part. Let me open. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying. Inside Finder, because I'm using Mac, so the Finder is whatever my file is. I think for Windows is C drive, not quite sure. So creating a new folder, let's name it as from extension. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Yes. I think. Oh my God, so annoying this one. Download these two. Oh. Download, yes. And drag it inside this folder. Oh, it's a zip file. So unzip this. Yes, image folder. Manifest.json. Yes. It should be. Then open your VS Code file. Open. CP project from extension. Just open it. So you can see there's a image and manifest.json. Before we move into the code, let's create other 4 files. First one is background. I'm sorry about my background noise. I think there's a construction site near my hostel. Foreground.js. Then is pop-up.html and option.html. Oh, wait. There's the 5 files I'm using today. Let's take a look at the manifest.json. Oh, so annoying. Sorry. Okay. I mean, sending the link. Yeah, there's blank for us to fill in. So just do it with me. But the name here, is the name of your extension. You can name it as whatever you want. Maybe I just name it as object. My obj. You need to add a quotation mark here. Otherwise, it's invalid. It's a string. And description is the descriptions of your extension. So maybe description is a Chrome extension. Yes. Version here is the version of your extension. And 0.1.0. Wait. What's wrong? Oh, okay. Quotation mark is very important. Okay. Manifest version here is the manifest version. Currently, we are using version 2, but I think there are version 3 coming. You can check it on Chrome. Yeah, there's a Chrome developer that site. You can check it there. I think the difference between versions is a description available. For example, the value of keys available, and the key names. So I think at the past is image, now is icons. So there's a minor change between versions. So now 2 is enough. So manifest version is 2. Icons. So icons is basically just whatever. No, I showed just now the extension icon. This one, very small one. So whatever we have here is for that purpose. And why we have different size? Because at different, basically it has different size. So this one is one size, another size. And if you want to remove this, so this is a third size. The very big one I haven't figured out, but it definitely has. So the 16 is this 16px PNG. So it's inside image and 16px.png. I feel like 32, just repeat whatever I did just now. So image 32px.png. I'm sorry, I show you text very slow. Image. This one is 48 px.png. And the last one is image / 12a.png. Yeah, we have already added the icons image and background. So inside background is a JSON object and there's a script key. So whatever we put here should be the path for the background script. So we are using the background.js as our background page, right? So inside here, we just put the path. So it is, the background.js. The reason why we use a straight bracket, because I just mentioned a straight bracket denote the arrays, right? So basically you have multiple files for these background scripts, but because we are only do the very basic extension, so we just use one file, but you can actually have multiple files. Yeah, so this one is just denote array, although we only have one item. And option page, of course, is our optional HTML. This one is not an array because you can only have one page for the optional. Yeah, and browser action is, I mean, you can see from the name, it just whatever the browser will do, the actions of browser. So once you click on the icon, the browser will show you a window, so the pop-up window. So that's the actions of browser. And default pop-up window will be our pop-up.html. So just, undo pop-up.html. Yes. And permissions. Permissions are very important. So permissions, inside permission, you can put both API and URL permissions. So it means you have the access to whatever API you put inside and whatever tag starting with the URL. We will be the permission we use here is tabs and the HTTPS www.google.com/star. It means that we have access to tabs API. So API, how to explain it, is somehow like functions in Python, but is no, you don't need to define it. You don't need to define it. Is the system provide you the functions? I think you can understand it this way. And the URL here means you have the access to whatever tabs starting with the google.com. So example will be, let me search for something. Yeah, you see, this URL is starting with our permit URL, right? So our extension should have access to this page. And now we need to save this. Save on VS Code is Command S. Oh, of course you can manually save it. There will be a complete manifest.json. So everyone follows. What do I need to explain? Is red something wrong with your version? Are you using VS Code? Yeah, it's image/128. Oh, sorry. Thank you for identifying my typo. Right, must create the file name background JSON. It's not necessary. I name it this way just for, more straightforward. Of course, you can name it as a.html, whatever you want. You can create follow when I'm going through that part. I mean, I create just for you to know that we are using these 5 files. It's red. Which part is red? Okay, I will just move on and you can just tell me which part is red and I will answer that why it's wrong. Okay, save it again. Oh, okay. Version. Are you using VS Code? Or wait, I shouldn't have a typo in the blank file. Okay. Oh, version. Do you have this quotation mark? If don't have, this will be wrong. Or maybe you just have one side? It might be this situation. Otherwise, it should be okay. But it's green. So different color. We can just later you can, I think you can share screen if it really cannot work. Because I cannot visualize. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I think we can move on to the next part because so far we haven't reached the part where we implement our extension. We can just do another pages, and if the error still exists, I will just you can share screen, I think, or we can go to a breakout room. Okay. Next, let's look at background and foreground. I think by right I can make this page call in this. Can I? Oh, nice. Okay. Nice. So one side is foreground, one side is background. First, we can add a console log. Nice. Console log is not nice. Console log in JS is similar, no, it's the same as print in Python. So whatever inside the console log, the message will be something printed out. So we are having this step. We just show that for background.js, you can run directly. But for foreground.js, whatever code you put on this will not run without injecting from background. So it's just more straightforward to visualize that part. So maybe it comes about hello world. And also this one. Okay. Oh, nice. Console. Hello. Oh, don't forget to save it. Okay, we have this 2 page. We need to text our extension, right? Oh, sorry. Yes. Thank you, Brian. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name correctly. For answering the question. Yeah, that's right. You can access all pages related to Google. Yeah, all pages starting with that URL. Now we should add our extension to Chrome. So you add this extension page, then click on load and pack. It allows you to upload a file. So for me, it default is a Chrome extension. Oh, actually not this one. This one. Yeah, here. No, not image. Okay. Oh, my OBJ. Yes. So if you can edit without any error, it means your code works. It means there's no error when you are coding the manifest.json part. I hope everyone can get this now. And also you can see there's a red heart, right? And inside our image folder, the red heart is, okay. Oh, it's not. Oh, 16. 48. Yes, it's a size 48. So you should see your OBJ, your extension here. I hope everyone can get it. How to get JS background? How to add from red? Oh, okay. I will show you now. Oh, how to get JS background? You mean how to create this file? Oh, actually, the background you can, okay, if you want to see the background code. So here is a inside views background page. You click on this. This one is your background because you can see background.js. You run this path. Yeah. And okay, I will show how to do it from Rapid. Do I have a form extension for your? Okay, I think I have. Yes, because I developed on Rapid before for my driver, and it's super complicated. That's why I gave up on this. Okay, where's my manifest.json? Okay, so you need to first download a zip. So how you make the extension go to, yeah, load and pack, and drag your folder to the area. Basically, select your folder and click on this shown. Not shown, but okay, I think I can't remember the button. So okay, for whoever using Rapid, you download a zip here, and you open in your Finder or window lah. So this one is it. Then, oh, where's my extension? Yes, extension here. Repeat the step I just did just now. Load and pack. And drag your from extension 11. Here. You can see there's too many versions, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. Because as I said, I'm using Rapid for my dry run, and you realize that you actually need to download it every time you update or you make some changes to your Rapid. And it costs a lot of time. That's why I don't want to use it, but it's okay. It still works. So select. Oh wait. Oh yeah, I think what happened? And then file is not valid JSON, colon trading or comma not allowed. But I think there's a error here. But I think I don't think I add this comma. Oh, actually cannot add this comma, but never mind. This is the last item. Yeah, and then just okay. Because you can see there's an error here, right? So I need to go back to the repeat page and delete this comma and yeah, download it again. And then I won't try it out. And then you select, you just add it to your browser. Yeah, that's the step. May repeat what? Yeah, the entire folder. You check your entire folder inside it, inside the load unpack pop-up window. Yeah, select the entire folder. Don't select just one file. Okay. For the JS background, if you're asking how to add this file to your VS Code, it's very simple. You just click on this add file and blah blah .js. You already add this JS file. And if you're asking how I make this to appear at the same time, you click on this split editor. Yeah. And if you're asking how to show the JS background page, so in your extension, there's an inspect views background page. Click on this, and it will print out hello world. Okay, this also shows that your background page will run immediately once you open it or once you refresh. And it shows background.js because our background page have this path of background.js. So this is where you can see your background. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, manifest.json should have a problem. Oh, okay. There's a typo. Okay, it's okay. I also make typos frequently. Okay, can admin send the file, the folder drive, the drive link? I'm sorry. Again, inside the drive, you should see a folder called image. And then you just download the image folder and manifest.json file. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I hope everyone is clear now. Like you have reached this step. And yeah, we have already seen that. Oh, where's mine? Already see that you can access the background page by click on this background page button. But if you check inspect console, inside console, nothing is printed out. Even though you change a tab and click on inspect, click on console, still nothing is shown. It means if you directly write this console log message in your foreground without injecting from background, it's not going to work. So it's revisit the point that it's just a content script. It's just a script for or whatever you want to implement, but it cannot run by itself. So how to make it run? Wait, anyone cannot follow the manifest.json? Okay, I just leave it here for you to copy if you cannot catch up. I will just continue from the background.json. So just now we already see that the foreground.js cannot run by itself. So we need to do the injection part. Now we will be moving on to the injection. Injection will use the tab API. So it will be cron. We don't have typo, tabs dot execute script. No. You can just copy. I will explain it later after complete this part. The foreground. Oh, undo. Foreground. JS. Then there's a callback function. Okay, I made this larger. Oh, it's clear enough. Console I injected. Okay, that's basically how we inject code from background page and make it run on foreground page. Yes, let me explain this. So Chrome.tabs means the tabs API is created by Chrome. And the execute script is, how to say, is let's make it similar to Python, like types is a library and execute script is one function inside the library. Although in JS it's called API. So execute script is one API of the tab API. What it does is to just let the name execute the script. And you see that it's very interesting way of JS to define their name. It's always the second word. The first letter of the second word is capital letter. And inside this, how to say, just call it function, but inside this function, there are 3 parameters. One is not, another is this file, and third one is this thing. So, oh, by the way, 2/ is comment in JavaScript. So now means active tab. All is active tab. Active tab means the tab you are at. For example, this one is our active tab. Then the second parameter is the file path. Is the file that we are going to inject. We are going to inject codes into. We are going to inject codes into this foreground.js. And the last one, third para, is a callback function. So whatever shown, okay, here, okay, after the arrow here will be run after the main function is run. So after we inject, in this case, after we inject code to the foreground.js, then this console log, the inject will be executed. So you can see on your background that you will print out a message called injected. Yes. And I hope everyone can follow. Am I too fast? If you cannot follow, just send in the chat. I'm sorry. I wait 1 minute for you to copy if anyone cannot copy. What's a callback function? Okay. Is the background.js, right? Okay, I make it larger if also. Callback function is a function that will be executed after the main function is done. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you see? How to make it larger? Okay, I think now, yeah, both shown completely. So a callback function is a function that will be executed when the main function is done. In this case, when we already inject the code, how to move on? Oh, wait, I do it later. I explain what is callback function first. So after we inject code into the foreground.js, which means just now which means we inject this code into the in foreground.js already, right? So we have done that. So to show that we have done that, the callback function will run. Like console log I injected will run. So basically, it will print out this message on your background page. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. You're done, but you don't know how to move on to the background. Wait, you don't know how to open the background of JS? Or is, wait, can, I'm sorry, I can elaborate a little bit. Oh, okay. So, I'm sorry, but you just, because you are at manifest.json, right? Just click on this background.js, it's shown. And if you want this split view, you click on the, oh, where is my little split? Oh, here. See? Wow, it's too many tabs now. Wait, how did you get that? I think it's at the right top of your VS Code window. There's a split editor. Just click on this. Wait, can everyone get this? It's not only my laptop have it, right? It shouldn't be. Oh wait, how do I close one tab? Oh my god. Oh, nice. Okay, just click on this. See, is the entire view ma? Click on this, split. Okay. So I have everyone finish copying. There's a little function for us to inject codes to the foreground. Wait, my laptop is actually dying, but it's okay. Then we save this to file. Oh. Save, and refresh. Oh, there's error. Yes. Of course, there will be an error because if unchecked runtime last error cannot access a Chrome URL. That's true because we haven't set, we haven't tested for URL. So although we have set, so basically what it means that for every, so this function will run for any active tab without checking its URL. But however, it contradicts with our manifest.json because our manifest.json, it said we only have the permission to access tabs with starting URL google.com, which means we actually do not have access to this Chrome page because the URL is starting with Chrome, but not google.com. That's why the runtime error will happen. So to solve this, we must make sure that we check the URL beforehand. We must make sure that we check the URL beforehand and only access those starting with google.com. I hope I make it clear. Yeah, the entire video will be recorded. I will elaborate on the recorded part later during my post-workshop reminder. How to close? Just click on this small X. Okay, I will leave the background page open. Lastly, too. Yes, for you to copy. Okay. And I just continue typing back. Everyone can understand why the runtime error occurs. I hope I make it clear. Thank you for answering that. So to avoid this runtime error, we need to check for the URL, as I mentioned earlier. So how to check URL? it involves another function. The function is also under tabs API. So it's from dot on activated. Wait, I didn't have arrow, right? Activated dot listen. No. Okay. So explain this API first. Unactivated means the function or maybe this API will be executed on the active tab. So it will only check for the active tabs. So basically it's whatever tab you are at. At listener, it means to get message. No, it's to get information from the tab. Listener is just listening for information. Yeah. So inside it will be whatever information we want to get. I hope I made it clear. Is check for typo. Okay, I will I will explain why the error happens. So the runtime error happens because it shows here that cannot access a Chrome URL. The reason of it because just now we only have this code, right? And we have null here. So it means the code will execute on every active tab without checking the URL. However, that contradicts with our manifest of Json because here we only have permission to access whatever tabs starting with google.com. So the URL must start with google.com to make our extension execute. So in this case, because we don't have access to this URL starting with Chrome, so our code cannot run on that tab. That's why it shows cannot access a Chrome URL. To avoid the error, we need to first check the URL of our active tab. That's why we will have another function. We will use another API here called chrome.tabs.onActivated.addListener. So onActivated means on every active tabs. And addListener, it means you get information from that tab. So it's listen for information. Yeah, I hope that makes it clear. Then let's continue. Tabs. Tab. Did I miss anything? Wait. Form.tabs at listener. Didn't spell it. At listener tab. Okay. Inside, let's say console log tab. It will actually, let's comment out this line to see how this API works. So console log tab will give you tab information. Yes, it should give you tab information. So save this. Okay, thank you. And refresh. Why there's still error? Oh, there are refresh, background page. Wait, how do we know? Should I have this console log tab here? Oh, wait. Oh, I actually have it. Is that because I never specify the info? Okay, let's see whether this one works. Okay. Later to listener. Stock it tab ID. Okay, I hope this works. Refresh. Oh, okay, it works. So see, once I switch a tab, the link of the tab will be shown. So the URL of the tab. Wait, I will explain this part. So add listener. So it means you collect the information from tab. So it means collect information from the tab now. Then before we collect information, we need to get the information. So we need to extract the information from the tab. Or I may need to charge my laptop later, but I will continue this one. You need to extract the information from the active tab. So that's why we have a chrome.tab.get. So inside there's two parameters. Tab.tab ID means yes, tab ID. I can also console log the tab ID. I will try later. And current tab info means for whatever tab you are at, the information. You represent the information of the active tab. So inside this, actually this one is not very useful. No? You just define a variable. So the value of tab ID is the value of variable called active tab ID. So that's why it's not useful. So okay. So inside here we have console.current tab.select underscore info.url. It means it will just print out the URL of the active tab. So the entire procedure is you get information from the active tab, and then you collect, you listen to. I say, how does it? You interpret. Is that correct English word? But maybe just like you interpret is not correct, but you listen to that information you collected. Yes. And after these two, wait, did I just make the statement wrong? Basically, the entire function is to listen to information and extract information from the tab. And finally, print out the URL of the tab. Just like whatever it shows here. Once you switch a tab, you will get URL. See? And it should actually run immediately once you switch tabs. There's no lag between. Yeah, I hope everyone can get this. Do you have any questions on this? If not, then I will just continue doing the injection and check the URL path. Oh, unexpected token. It means maybe you may have a carry property at listener of undefined. Oh, what's your error of 指路? Maybe, yeah, maybe a typo. Maybe your tabs, you instead of tabs, you wrote tab. Okay, tabs on actually. Let me see. At li listener tab. Yep. From tabs. Okay. ID, yes. Current tab info, yes. Actually, console current tab info.url. Yeah, it should be correct. If you get error, no, you don't need. Then I don't think I download the Chrome. Wait. I don't actually think I download anything. No, I didn't install anything. You see, I don't have. Wait, Zilu, what's your error? The runtime error just means because you don't have permission to access a Chrome URL because your permission here is about Google URL. There's two contradict because for this code here we didn't check for the URL, so that's why you cannot access it. Yeah, I hope that make it clear. Tab execute script. Oh, there's a dot. Yes. Just like Bowen said, chrome.tab.execute script. For this one to run, I commented I'll just for clearer, like make it clearer lah. But I don't actually think if you don't comment out, it will be any error. Maybe it just, this one just means you can, okay, the error of this just means you cannot inject code for that tab because the tab is not accessible. I mean, I commented off, but actually I don't think you is very necessary. Yes, the code should be correct. Oh yeah, the errors don't clear on their own. You need to clear it manually. Is quite, I don't know. Oh, 10%. I think I will move to a place with plugs. So you can continue copying. I will just stop sharing videos. Yeah, for those who come in late, if you don't have the link to the folder, to the drive folder, the admin will send it again. And you need to basically download image folder and the manifest.json file and copy whatever I wrote here and background.js. I will, okay, there's nothing on foreground.js, so don't need to copy anything. Wait, even though you add the dot, it's still not working. I need to charge now. get back by minutes. Yes. Okay, I'm back. Yes, my laptop is charging. How to open the extension thing? Click on this menu here. More tools, extension. Or maybe I'm already on the tab. More tools, extension. Yeah, it will direct you to the page. Okay, let's move on to the next part. We now will be checking for the URL. It's a very interesting part here. So comment out the print line with if, wow, it's very easy to get typo. But please pay attention. PS. Wow, my God. Then www.google/.test for current tab info.url. Then we copy and paste this. Yes. Let me explain this. So after we get the information from the tab, we now need to check for the URL, to whether the URL starting with the google.com, that part. So whatever happens here, you can see a test here is to test whether the current tab URL is matches with whatever I wrote here. So basically whether it matches with the www.google. Why is formatting in this way? Actually, I'm not quite sure. It's just the Chrome said that you need to check in this way. It's somehow embedded format, I think. Yeah, but you can explore it on your own time. So inside the bracket will be whatever your URL is been testing. So in this case, the URL of our active tab will be tested and see whether it matches with our permission URL. Whether it matches with this one. So once it works, once the tab is starting with our permit URL, the injection, the execute script, this one will be executed. So the code will be injected into our foreground, which means now you can see a hello world printed out in our console. So let's save this. and refresh, and open background page. And let's go to this one. Inspect. Oh yeah, I can see there's no arrow here, right? Console. Wait, what happened? Did I just? Okay, let me figure out what happened. Yes, console.hello world. It should not be arrow. And I don't have typo, right? Okay. Oh, test. Current tab info.url inside is a from tabs execute string now file. JS console injected. Yes. Usually okay. Why? Yes, I think I don't know how to pronounce the name, sorry. Yeah, okay, should be. Oh, okay. Typo, friends. Be careful of typos. Colon, dot, slash. Yes, be careful. Otherwise, it just like whatever I just did. Oh, I missed a colon. Can't believe it. Okay, now let's refresh this. Refresh. Yes, success. Hello world is printed out. And you see, there's no error. It means whatever we want to check here, it actually works. It will check for URL, and if it matches, then whatever inside the content script page will be printed out. Nice. Everyone can get it? Yeah, basically that's how format the thing. So if there's no error and no question, I will just continue doing that. Okay, we will, seems like no questions, good. Okay, see whatever we did here, we are injecting a script. So let's say it's a test, it's a script. But however, we can also inject a CSS file. So which means we can change the style, the design of the tag. The like or the dark mode here. See, this one is done by injecting CSS to the foreground page. Change the background color. So we also want to have inject some CSS content to our tab. Then how will we do this? So now it will involve a inject CSS function. So we are still using the tabs API, but now it's different function. Now it's insert CSS. And still is not. And file path will be my style.css. Oh yeah, we haven't created this file yet. Yes, we need to create a CSS file. So it means the insert CSS, the CSS file means the my style CSS. So whatever inside the my style CSS will be inserted to the foreground, to our active tab lah, because it's now here. So let's create a CSS file, my style. .css. Take care of the typo. Save this. So I'm thinking whether we can have this split. No, cannot. I only have this column thingy. Wow, okay, never mind. Okay, inside my style.css, what we want to do, of course, you can change the background color. Actually, you can do anything here. But what I'm going to do today is to add animation. Let's first have a class. That the class name is spin. Because CSS always done the thing. You need a class to do it. Is CSS syntax. Yeah. So we name the class as spin. So the animation name will be spin. Oh, I think it's semicolon. It's very important. It's very, very important. So after each line inside the CSS file, you need to have this semicolon. Otherwise, it won't work. But for JS, you can see, actually you can add semicolon also, but actually it's not important. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it just different languages have different syntax. Yes, oh, sorry if you cannot see. The problem of opening too many tabs. Yeah. Let me close for a while. I hope now you can see it better. Okay. Oh. Now we'll continue with the CSS. So animation name is spin. And animation, typo. Animation duration. Let it be 1.0s. So for each rounds of animation, it will last for 1 second. Animation, then the next one is animation iteration count. So basically is how many times the animation will iterate, will repeat basically. Let it be infinite. So it means it will just continue spin infinitely. Yes. And it involves a keyframe. Okay, nice. What is a keyframe in CSS? Okay, a keyframe actually specify the animation code. I will just use a sample. It's used to specify an animation code. It can use to change the CSS style during the change the CSS style during the animation spin. So let me just code while I explain this. Keyframe spin frame S important S. The animation is spin, so is how to say, is specified, is further, it gives you further details of the animation move spin at 0%. So basically is in the original place when animation haven't started. So in this case, the transform rotate is 0 degree. So because it hasn't started, so the rotation is 0 degrees, original place. But when it's 100%. So when animation is complete, 100, just complete, we want it to spin 3 rounds. Rotate 1440 degree. Yes. Okay. Oh, it's foreground. Foreground, sorry. So inside this, the keyframes further specify the details of the animation move spin. When the animation hasn't started, it will rotate 0 degree, and when it completes, it will be 4 rounds. Yes. So we save this. And now we have a separate CSS file, and the code said, oh, we want to inject this CSS file into our active tab. So we need to write something on the content script because we want to specify like which components of our active tab will spin. That involves another API. So this we move to, oh, actually, if you haven't finished copying this one, I will just leave it here. Let's pay attention to, oh, how about, yes, let's pay attention to this part. Now we no longer want to console hello world. Now we want certain elements of our active tab to spin. So in this case, we use an API called document. Document is not Chrome specified, but it's actually system embedded. So even it's not for Chrome extension, for other websites, you can also use document API. Query selector. It means query selector is actually the same as component selector. Query, you can make it either ID or a name of the element. So let's take a look at the Google. Maybe, okay, for example, I want this Google logo to spin. So we open the inspect of, in case you don't know how to open inspect. Inspect. Arrow. 4 arrows. Oh, I have typo. I'm sorry. Oh my. Okay. You want to send a code to the chat, then later I can take a look. Okay. Open inspect. Then we want to find the query of the big Google logo. So let's explore. Okay, seems like this one include the big logo. Class is not specific enough. Okay, it shows for the image logo, the class name is LN capital XDPD. Yes, that's the query we want to select because we only want the big logo to spin. So let's go back to here. Query selector. The first element will be the query that you select. In this case is, yeah, for class, you always have this dot in front. Not quite sure about the reason, but it's just the syntax like that. We always do it this way. No, actually, if you don't do this way, I think you will get error. Yes. So it means we have select the big logo of the tab. And maybe you want to send the entire code here. Oh, okay, good. Next, we want to add a class. So you want to make this big logo into another class. That's because inside CSS, we have defined the class spin. So only elements inside the class will spin. So in order to make our big logo spin, we need to add it to this spin class. So that's why we want to append this logo to the list, class list called, and have an add function. Add it to spin. So it means the logo. Yeah, the class name represents the logo, right? So that logo image is added to a class called spin. And for the class spin, the CSS tells you that whatever inside the spin class will rotate for 4 rounds in 1 second. And the animation will repeat infinitely. Yes. And also we on the background page, we already have this injection, means the CSS file has insert to the active tab. So if we run this, okay, remember to save all the changes. If we run this using our extension, the expected result will be this big logo spin for 4 times in 1 second. Let's try this. Refresh. Yes, success. It's fun. See, the logo is very fast because it's only 1 second, it's 4 rounds. I hope everyone can get this. If you cannot, just send in the chat. I will look to the chat, see what's the error. Yeah, it's the same for all computers. It's universal. Since developer cannot it's not possible for them to memorize so many different classes on different devices. Yes, it's the same. I mean, actually, class is something that you can define yourself. I define it as spin because it's spin, but you can also maybe use one spin or other words to represent it. It's fine. Everyone can get this. Very fun thing. If no other question, I will move on to the pop-up and option HTML, because it's all included in the basic Chrome extension part. Oh, what kind of error? Oh, by the way, the error will not clear itself. So if the error still shows that you have some Chrome access problem, just clear it. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Okay, maybe you want to specify what error you got, and I will answer the question. Oh, sorry. Oh, wait, what am I doing? CSS, JS, foreground. If you cannot see the background, I think only this line is new. I hope you have copied this one, but if you haven't finished copying background, ping me and I will show it. So when you clear error and refresh, there's no error. Yes. Yeah, it just Chrome will not automatically clear your error, even though you don't have the error anymore. Yeah, if the error does not reappear, it means your code is fine. Wait, property URL of undefined. Okay, I've not edited it right now. I'm checking a tab. Wow, the first. Cannot read property URL of undefined. What is undefined? Do you want to send your background code here? Because I'm not quite too sure what is undefined. Or if you have a question, we can have a breakout room later, after complete workshop. Okay. Counselor, hello. Yes. On activate enlistment tabs, tabs. How to activate the extension? No need to activate. Once you add it to your Chrome already, then you refresh it. Yeah, just refresh it. Yeah, I'll see what happens. Okay, I think for Zilu, you can stay back later because I mean, I only have 28 minutes left and I want to cover a little other things also. Yes, typo is the worst. Agree with you because I also have typos sometimes. Okay, I hope everyone's logo is spinning. Yes, and now let's move on to the HTML files. Yes, top options and pop-up. Wow. Oh, okay. Obviously, I haven't shown, it didn't give me the default HTML, the thing. I need to type it myself, but okay, just follow along. Yeah, doc type, HTML. It just the default HTML format. Every time you do a HTML file, you will have it. Meta offset UTF-8. Okay, I will not go through HTML in details, like what does this concept means. You can explore it in your own time. It's not very hard. Honestly, it's not very hard. Okay. This default format of HTML, let's copy paste to the pop-up page also. Save. And I will just do a very simple one, maybe H1. So head one message is I am the option page. And save this. And pop-up will just be H1. I am the pop-up page. Yes, that's all. Very simple one. And let's see how you can do. Refresh this, and oh, okay. It seems I have too many. I don't pin this. Pin my OBG. Yes. Oh, wow, my fault. Okay, it's my fault. I never noticed that my extension is in black mode. And the URL is black. So you cannot see very clearly, but if you try and click on this, yes, there is a small black cat logo. Oh, it's the size of 16 times 16, it's a very small one. I think it's 16 times 16, 16. I can't remember, but yeah, it's an icon here. And if you click on this icon, it will give you I am the pop-up page. Yes, it's just because I didn't design it. I just have a very basic line. So compared to the Google Translator, it's not as pretty as this one, but it's the same thing. They're both the pop-up page. If you want to spend some time on HTML, or you wanted to do some, you wanted to have some function, yes, you can of course can design this way. But I just show what I did here. I just show what is pop-up page. Yeah, it's very hard to see. Oh, I should choose a clearer one. Yes, I think, can everyone get it? You don't need, you mean why I don't need a closure for here? Because I mean, it's one line. Oh, yeah, you can have it, but with or without it doesn't matter. Only when you have something inside this, you need a closure. If it is just one line thing, you don't need a closure. Yeah. Option page again. You mean the code or the? Okay. Option HTML is okay. Is actually the same thing between option and pop-up. It's just I changed the line here. One is I am the option page, and another is what I am the pop-up page. Okay. I will show you the examples of. I will leave it here. Wow, the wheel's still spinning. Okay. I will show you where is the option page. So go to the extension and click on this details, and it will be a Chrome option. Click on this one. It will show the option page. For the dark mode extension, just show. So inside the option page, it has it has options like you can select dark mode for certain tabs, or you don't want the dark mode to work for certain tabs. Yeah, that's why it calls option page. So you can select it to function for certain web page, basically. The thing behind 8 UTF-8 is always UTF-8. Yes, that's the pop-up and option page. I mean, you can design based on your needs and wants. So if you want to have multiple options for your users, you can always design this page. Similarly, if you want to have a pop-up window for a user, you can always design it. I make it very simple just because it's not, I mean, today just introductions of all the possible pages. So, okay, after done these two files, we have completed the basic part of Chrome extension. Now we can move on to the interaction between front-end and back-end. Basically, the active tab and the background page. So that involves in the sending message and receiving message and respond message. Yeah, that's three main things. Okay, I hope everyone have finished copying this because I'm closing this too. And we are back to the foreground and background page again. So to show how we can send message to background page, we want to have some something to trigger the action. So maybe we want to have two buttons on our web page. So constant, constant here is constant is unlike in Python is all variables, right? But in JavaScript is constant, means the name will not change. The value I think is also will not change. Let's make the first button. Okay. For this part is to interaction with background page. Yes. So we define two buttons. Okay. First button, we call it first. Document. as I said, document one is a universal API is embedded to the system. So you can always access it. It means that on the web page, there is a new element created. The element is a button. And for the button, and the first is a name represent the button. So for the button, we want the inner text to be set, maybe set data. So basically, you know, the button inside has some text, right? So now will be the button is a set data button. And first ID, first. Yes, there's a first button. Then let's go to the second button. Constant second. The same code, document dot create element button. Yes. Second inner text, let it be sharp to back, and yes, and did I just record? I disconnected, but okay, I will. Desktop one. Well, actually, let me quit my. Okay. We stop at this part, right? Yeah, it's an internet problem. Sorry. ID is second. Yes. So for now, we have successfully defined two buttons. So one is first, another is second. And inner text one is set data, another is short to back end. And ID one is first, another is second. Yes, so we have created these two buttons. And we want to have some CSS style for it. So now let's move on to CSS. Oh wait, anyone cannot follow, like didn't finish copying this? It's okay, you can just continue finish copying because I'm using another tab for CSS. Move CSS here. Yes. Oh wait, no. Okay. So now we have two buttons already. So let's define a position for them. So for ID, I think, yeah, I should read this first. Okay, let's try. No. Position absolute top 20% left 20%. Then for second, yes, that will be the CSS code for these two button. And let's, okay, do you need some time to copy this? If you already, okay. I leave it for maybe 1 minute. So 47, I will go. I mean, I randomly define it. You can, of course, you can make it 50%, 60%. Because you just, because you don't want this two button to overlap, right? So you want to see the separate two button. So you need to define a different position for these two. Yeah. And actually, whatever I wrote here, 20%, the 30, 40%, it doesn't matter. It's just a position. You can define yourself, like 10%, 30%, 80%, both can. All okay. You mean this percentage or this percentage? If you're talking about the position one, is okay. If you're talking about this one, no, it actually means the percentage positions of your web page. Like, for example, if your web page, the length is 30 minutes and the 20% just means if you 30 centimeter, 20% just means okay, 30 times 0.2 is 6 centimeter here, this position 6 centimeters since the left margin. How do you get the console for both background and foreground? Yeah, it's placement. Console. Okay, for foreground, you need to open inspect. Later I show you. And background, you go to extension page, and I think there is a inspect view background, and click on it. That will show you the console. I will also demonstrate that again when I go to the that page, the web page. Yeah, it's a placement. Okay, I hope you have finished copying it. Now I go to the extension page to show how it works. Oh, my still spinning, but just leave it here. So, okay, good. Refresh. See, there's an inspect views background page. You open this, it shows you the background console. Wow. Yes. So far, it's still hello world because I never add anything more. Foreground page console. Is inspect and console. Yeah, it's here. By right, I should see a button. Cannot read class list for a null. Wow, foreground JS tree. Okay, this is an error. Oh, okay. The error here because the keyword selector is only for the big logo. It is not for any other tab. So on this tab, there's no element has a class of this one. It's only for the big logo. Let's see if I refresh it. Oh, where's my button? Where's error? Cannot read. Oh, okay. Actually, and let me comment out this one. Refresh it and see whether it works. Already declared that I changed the name bar. A. ID also be A. Second is B. Oh wait, what? B. What is my keyboard problem? B. ID also B. So change the first here to A and second here to B. B. Save and save. And let's go back to extension, clear all. Yes, you need to manually clear the errors. Refresh, refresh. This one also refresh. Where's my bottom? Why? Last time I tried it, shouldn't be any problem though. Wow, it's interesting. Oh wait, I got the reason why I never showed. It's not on my active tag lah. Because I only create. I never define like which page or which elements I should put them on. Like for example, okay, what I did here is okay, I create a button and I define the positions, but I never say which page or which area it should be put on. Like what so for example, for the spin, right? I have actually gave a specific element that will spin. But in this case, for my two button, I never gave a specific element or a specific page that these two buttons will appear. So we need to add something, a new keyword selector. So let me add document keyword selector. In this case, body, because every page has a body. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what is body is here, is the entire web page. And let's append child A. Copy and paste B. So it means you have appended two buttons on the web page, and plus upon this, the positions of these two buttons will be shown according to our CSS code. Yes. Actually, let's see whether it works. Honestly, I don't think this error is very important. I don't think it stops us. Oh no. So yes, you see, there is two. Okay, there's a two tags, but actually it's a button. If you open console, then console, if you click on this set data, wait, it should give you a data. Didn't I? Oh wait, I didn't. Okay, I didn't set any function for the data. So so far you cannot see anything, but you can see there's a two line here. Although it looks like pure text, but actually these two are buttons. Yeah, I will add a clink function later. So anyone can get this without any error. Oh, I realized, oh, this time no error anymore. This one I don't think is very important. I also don't know why it happens, but obviously it doesn't affect our code. So our code can function normally. Yeah, see, it's a set data, shut up background. Yeah, set data and shut up background. The reason why it is so weird, maybe because I didn't define the position very well. I'll just change it to some 40%. See. Everyone can get this. You can see the two buttons on your web page. Or is there any error? I can't see buttons. Wow, I only have 4 minutes, I realize. Okay, I will. If you have any error questions, you can ask me later. I will just quickly go through the send message to the background thing. So let's differentiate this function for this two button. So for the listener, link Okay. So I have add event listener to this two button. So for this one, click, the first parameter click means the trigger action is click on the button. So once you click on the button for button A, the console, the foreground console will print out a line called iSet data. And for button B, once you click on the button, it shows, runtime is another API of Chrome, but I think it's some universal, you don't need to give permission to. The functions of it is set message to background, and the contents of the message is hi and from foreground. And after sending that, the console will print out a line called set. It means the message has been successfully sent to the background. Because only that occurs, this line can be executed normally. Yeah. Okay, I repeat again for this part. So for button B, the trigger action is you click on the button. So once you click on the button, the API allows you to send a message back to the back end, to the background page. And the message here is hi, I'm from foreground. And once it executed normally, which means the background received the message, line sent will be printed out in the foreground console. And don't forget to save it. So we have already sent message to the background. And now we need to check whether the message we received is correct. Is correct, is the hi and from foreground. So we need to add another line in the background. So since this one is to receive a message from foreground, right? So it's not we want to inject code to foreground. So we don't need to check for the URL this time. So basically the action is triggered by foreground, but it's not by the background. Do you get what I mean? Like the first execute script is triggered, like is you want the code, is triggered by background, like you want the tab to change something. But in this case, is the tab wants to send the background a message. So you just need to receive and check whether the message is correct. You don't need to again check the URL because it doesn't matter. You need to access it. So in this case, we'll be using another API. So it's runtime again. I think runtime is about when the tab is running, when the tab is opening is on active tab. On message, it means for the message you received. Listener is to add listening for the message. And there is a parameter request sender and send with response. Oh, I cannot copy. Oh, okay, it's okay. I can upload the code to the folder after I complete the workshop. If you really cannot follow, you can also review the recorded video, which will be uploaded today. Okay, so for whatever error here, I will explain now. So this one means you will listening for the message you received in the background. In this case, the correct message you should receive is the hi and from foreground. And this 3 parameter here, the request, I'll take here. Request is request from foreground. Is how to say is whatever from foreground, I think. Is for whatever sent from the foreground. Then sender is informations about the sender. Like who is the sender? In this case, the active tag. And lastly, is send response. Is a method helps to send message back to the foreground. So it's a response to the message received. So in this case, for the if statement here, we are checking whether the request message, basically whether the message we have received in the background is exactly the same as whatever the message you send. The AKA the message should be hi and from foreground. Yes, so the 3 equal mark here is to see whether they are exactly the same. And if it is, well, actually not sure whether this one can work because it's the function, callback function here is to send response. But let's try. If it's correct, then the background console will print a line called nice, and a response message will be sent back to foreground called yo, I got your message. Yes. But in this case, we send response, so we need another function here to receive the response and show here. So I don't think you can see this message though, but it's okay. We save it and run it. Oh, sorry, I overran for 5 minutes. I may end at 10. Yeah. Refresh. Oh, the error doesn't matter. Don't affect us. So you can see here there's send data. If you click on this, it will be asset data. Click on shut off the backend. Okay, there's a message called sent. It means the message is sent. So let's see whether we have received the correct message. Background page. Nice. Nice means you have received the message. But actually we can print out the message. Console log request message. Let's try whether we can print it out. Refresh this. I'll clear the error. Open the background page. And we go to the here. Open console. It's the same. I mean, you use the Google main page, and this page is the same because is from body. Then you click on this shout out to backend. You will say sent, means the message is sent. So because since I'm printing out the message, request message here, so oh my god, there is a hi, I'm from foreground message print out. It means the message you have received in the backend is hi, I'm from foreground. And there's a nice here because they're exactly the same. Then I have a send response function here. Means once I got the message, I want to send a response. The content of response is, yo, I'm got your message. So in this case, we actually want to receive this message. So we are the receive message function is the same. I mean, you can use it again, so you can copy and paste here. This one, because a new message is sending from backend to front-end, right? So the foreground is receiving a message. In this case, we want to check whether we have receiving the correct message. So if we receive the message, we don't check anymore. That's just console log request dot message. See? So in this case, in foreground, whatever should print out in console should be the message you have received, which is sent from background to foreground, aka it should be your I got your message. Let's try this. So I'm going, I think a little bit too fast because I don't have time. I'm sorry. But let's put it all, it doesn't matter. Refresh and view background page. And once you click on shout out to backend, it should be, oh, C2 message I printed out. But if you view console, no message is printed out. Like your I got your messages line is not printed out. But it does not mean, okay, it means what? It means you didn't receive the message. But however, the code actually shows here that I sent a response already, right? But I didn't receive the message. The reason is because this function will listen, oh wait, LISTN, listen for a message from a separate message string. In this case, it's sending within the same message string. How to say? You use WhatsApp, right? So basically, this hi, I'm from foreground and you, I got your message, two message are in the same WhatsApp tag. Is using the same string. However, the receiver here wants to check message from a separate, that means basically a separate WhatsApp page. But it doesn't match them. I mean, these two don't match. One is on the same separate, one is here, and I is searching for whether they have any message here. So obviously, this one can receive nothing because nothing is in the new, in a separate message string. That's why there's nothing will be printed out because obviously the response message is not on the separate message string. Then how can we get a response? That involves in making a new message string. So in this case, we can do it this way. Comment out this thing. Okay, let's have a new function here called Chrome tabs send message active tab ID message your hello in this case, I'm creating a new message string, like I'm initial in a new message string, and the message inside is your hello. So in this case, because it's a separate message string already, so this function should be able to receive whatever is sent here and print out the your hello message. Let's try this. So refresh, go to this page, look at the console here. Is there any, am I able to make it up? Oh, nice. Wait, what happened? Console log request message, it should be okay. Long tabs, send message, active. Oh, okay. I know what's wrong because I never. I think did I just delete the active tag? No, I shouldn't. Okay. Oh, I realized just now why I have that line, because I'm assigning a variable. So the value of the active tag ID should be tab.tab ID. So in this case, I think the variable is assigned. So let's refresh and try. Yeah, success. The receive function successfully received this message, your hello, from the background and print it out. So you can see the your hello here. So let's see the background page. So you see there's obviously how to say interaction here. So once I click on this button, short to backend, it helped me to send a message which is hi, I'm from foreground to the background, and this one is printed out. And again, as a response, I'm sending another message called your hello to the foreground in a separate message string. And also you can see here, it means the response message also be received successfully and being printed out. Yeah, that's how the interaction between forend and backend works. Why we need this? Because for some extension, it always involves like interaction. Maybe, for example, the Grammarly need to check your grammar, right? So that one actually, I think that involves searching a database. So yeah, sending the input has the database, and you find it whether actually it works well. I mean, that's based on my understanding, but I'm not quite sure whether it works in that way, but I understand it as that way. Yes. That's the importance of interaction between foreground and background. Yeah, I'm very sorry I overran for 15 minutes, which is quite a long time. Yeah,